Hey guys, it's Captain Mac here with the Lighting Trade School Podcast, episode 6. I'm sporting my Illuminati Lounge gear. We just got off a call. Oh, Shane's got his on. It's an awesome club. It's the Insider Club. So this is the podcast where we talk about everything. The Illuminati Lounge is where you become part of the Illuminati and able to be interactive. So on the call, we had tons of discussions about demos. Demos, if you don't know, is a short word for saying demonstration. I've had some clients get a little confused on if I was coming to do demo work at their home, so I have to be a lot more clear about that. So demos, demonstrations, going to set up real lights and real locations. How did we come up with that? And I think for that, we have to kind of go to Nate. Oh, I guess I should do intros in case anybody doesn't know. I am here. I am Captain Matt. We got Glow Show Shane, the Glow Daddy Duffy from Texas. You got that slow drawl, y'all. And then we got Nate, the Illuminator, the Godfather, no matter how many people want to argue, of lighting, Nate Mullen. So, Nate, how did demos start for you? How did they start in the industry?
Well, I don't know if anybody did a demo previous. We started doing them in late 90, I think, could have been early 91. You never realized that you needed to share a goddamn story 35 years later. So it's kind of funny how that happened. So I was out there bidding a job. You've heard the story before. I apologize, but we're out there bidding a job for some really super rich guys. Got 2 brand new identical Mercedes in the driveway, Rancho Santa Fe, highly, highly rich area. And it was very good exposure for me. We all know a lot of times we'll take a job cheaper for exposure, for references, for things like that. So I'd given him a bid for around $18,000, and he just started crucifying me. I'm so sick and tired of you goddamn contractors coming up to me, overvaluing your bids, charging me excessive amounts of money. And I'm like taken back and kind of pissed off. And it's like, are you kidding me? You don't even understand this. Well, yeah, I do. I can go to Home Depot and I can buy Malibu kits for $50 and have you install them. So I'm thinking 10 kits, $1,000, $1,500. That's what I'm thinking. And you're charging me $12,000. And we get into this big little argument. And then at some point in that argument, he uses the word compared value, comparison. I have never given anything in my presentation to allow him to make a good decision. No compared value between $12,000 and $1,500. Man, I ended the conversation, jumped in my vehicle. I went back to my lighting garage and I made the first ever demo kit. I went back to him the next day, demoed it, and sold him a $25,000 lighting job. Compared value, comparison. Man, did that teach me a lesson. That literally changed my life, changed it. From then on, demo. And I used to say demo for dough, right? So, and it was a game changer. I mean, literally changed my life.
That's awesome. And Shane, I don't know when you started demoing. When you first started landscape lighting, were you demoing then, or did you demo after you met Nate? Tell me about how you did or did not demo.
Yeah, so no, I did demo pre-Nate and had like a little demo kit. But it's just funny, right? Like anything pre-Nate I did, well, really was just Mickey Mouse. So, I mean, I would take a demo out, and I think it was like a...
Okay.
Demo kit.
Can I interrupt? That was very disrespectful. That was very disrespectful to Mickey Mouse. You know how much. Mickey Mouse is one of my damn heroes. And when you think about it, what has Mickey Mouse ever Mickey Moused? Everything is perfect. Whether you hate the mouse or whatever, you can't go to Disneyland or Disney World and not find everything badass, super good. We aspire to be Mickey fucking Mouse, right? So anyway.
Give Mickey Mouse a bad name. Yeah. I'm sorry, Nate. I know Disney means a lot to you, but it more means elementary level. I had elementary level knowledge, aka Mickey Mouse knowledge, when it came to lighting. It was a 7-11 demo kit, something. I front lit everything. So yes, Matt, I did demo, and it probably helped because any light's better than no light, right? So you could sell a job. but there's no way I could sell against someone who is, actual good at designing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys see me turn my computer around right then, or do I have to be talking?
Oh no, we saw it and we heard it.
Okay, well, I didn't really know that if I had to be talking to see that way, it shows everybody how much I love Mickey Mouse. You saw all the Mickey Mouse shit in my office.
Yes.
First, you do the demos, then you can buy super expensive artwork to put all over your office walls.
That's right. Custom Disney artwork.
I love my office wall with Mickey Mouse everywhere.
He's not kidding it. Well, when you come to an advanced training at Nate's house, you'll see he's got the Disneyland sign, like a real one that was in Disneyland in his backyard. He's got this like Mushroom Kingdom thing going on. Guy's nutso for Disney. So, and that started with the demo, as we just heard. So, hey, maybe you'll get into a nutty little thing and have oversized decor in your backyard all year long. Demos are also great learning tools. I think we've got us three were having a conversation, like maybe instead of calling them a demo kit, we should call it a training kit. And I just want to quick go over that. Like when you're first starting, if you don't buy a demo kit, that's crazy, right? I'm sick of people telling you you don't need to demo. And even guys that have been in the industry 10, 20 years saying they don't demo. We'll get into that a little bit, but it's nonsense, right? When I first read Nate's book, before I ever met him, I bought 2 demo kits, right? And that's probably that was probably $6-7 or whatever. And I did it without even thinking because it's such a low entry point to get into a business, right? I was in Christmas, $6-10 wasn't a big deal. So many times we get pushback of like, oh, not sure I want to do the demo kit. And that kind of is telling to us, because if you don't want to start off by getting a demo kit, even one at $3,000, whatever it is, it's nothing. If you don't see spending $3,000 as a value to be able to add multiplier, because I still have my first 2 original kits and they've made me hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, those 2 demo kits on lighting. I've added since then. I have more demos since then. So, but you can go out and learn lighting because you can move them around with the Lifetime Lighting Systems demo kit. Oh, and by the way, great segue. Today's podcast is sponsored by Lifetime Lighting Systems. The Lifetime Lighting Systems is manufactured, yes, by Nate, and they all come from a point of helping the installer and the designer in a single fixture. Check them out, lifetimelightingsystems.com. That is our sponsor for the show. Going back into it, training kit, go out and just demo. I think Nate taught me this. Shane was part of it too. I know I just went out and demoed everybody, qualified or not, when I started, because I can move lights from the side to the back to the front and test everything Nate had taught me about design to see if he was right, see if it really did look better. Shane, did you do that? Did you ever just go demo crazy, or were you always like, no, I'm getting paid?
I would say like beginning, right? I wasn't demo crazy, and that was probably because I had zero confidence and zero design skill. Like first you get the demo kit, but I mean you need to learn, some kind of basics in design to go along with it. Once I really had the knowledge, I guess, and the thirst to learn design, and I'm learning, well, I wanted to go out and immediately implement this one trick or this one thing that I learned as I'm going. So yeah, it was kind of a high, it was a rush, to get out there and demo.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I think that's
you've seen.
I want to just add to Shane. I think that's such a fair statement and such the foundation of truth, if you will, in the demo. It's you said knowledge and you said confidence. So what gives you those 2 things is training. So we've said forever, training breeds knowledge, knowledge breeds confidence. So if you don't have the confidence, the knowledge and the training, don't buy a demo. But Matt said it. Use the demo as a training tool. Go out there and take applications that you're learning from either maybe these podcasts or maybe a book or something, and proof of concept. And then it starts clicking in your brain and then it starts going. But it's very, very, very powerful.
And that's a good point. On one of the Illuminati Lounge Club calls, one of the gentlemen in there said, I've been demoing and I'm still not selling. He's been watching the YouTube videos. He's been, putting in the time that he could, but he hasn't come to any live trainings besides the super basic where I did like a 4-hour classroom and 4 hours in the field. It wasn't about design or anything like that. So he was still putting in the hustle and everything, but because he had no training, the demo was just a waste of his nights, right? So I think to what Nate's saying is, yes, you need a demo kit, but that's like, buying some sort of tool. Like, right, I bought my first circular saw. I didn't know how to use it, right? So I had to, I asked somebody, how do I use this? Because just because you have a tool that can do amazing things doesn't mean it's going to be effective if you don't know how to use it.
So I thought the powerful thing that guy said is he had bought the demo, had watched my videos. Matter of fact, he said, I watched the videos. It made me buy a demo kit. And he literally said, I think I'm not getting the jobs because my demos suck.
It's right. He did.
I thought that was very honest, obviously evaluation of himself, right? He's demoing and it's backfiring. So
yeah, and I've seen that there's at the local supply house, one of the manufacturers will go do a demo for the contractor, and I'm looking at the demos and I'm like, oof, like clearly they're demoing and they're demo 20, 30 fixtures, and it doesn't look like when we walk onto a property and install or demo, everything just looks flat, everything's front lit, everything is 12 to 14 inches away from the house. It's just spotlighting, uplighting. It's crazy. So Nate, on that, you've obviously trained thousands of contractors at this point, right? Through Unique Lighting and Unique University. You were one of the first guys to start all this stuff, with your books and all that. When you see a guy who won't demo versus a guy who's demo, has it been easy or obvious to you to kind of see where that contractor is going to go in his lighting career? Like, kind of early on, if they're not willing to do that demo or they don't see the value in it? Is there any correlation that you've seen?
Well, yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody that has progressed beyond second grade, probably, when it comes to outdoor lighting without the proper use of a demo. I mean, like you said, that it teaches you, and I think that is it's something that we don't pound upon enough, right? We sit there and tell you buy a demo because it's the end all to doing a job, and you're going to make money. Well, but that's really the second step. First step is buy the demo, call it a training tool, right? And I don't think we press that enough. So yeah, I don't know if I've ever met anybody, and I'm sure I have, and I'm sure I'm not remembering. But overall, you're not going to progress without learning, and the demo teaches that. So Matt, you said it, and I'll say it for you again. You went out and did every night you demoed. You didn't care if you landed the job. You went out and demo. And you did it for one reason: to educate yourself, to learn, to get the confidence, right, and the skill sets to be able to go out there and really start making money, And so, yeah, that's critical. And then, of course, we don't ever talk about the rules of the demo. There has to be rules. You just can't go out there and throw the shit around and have it do nothing. Right. So I know what the rules are, but, you guys should probably share what your rules are. You just don't get into, I used to call it throw up and show up and throw up. So a lot of times I would love it when I had competition. They would just show up and throw up. They have no idea. They're not planned. They don't have appointment preparation, if you will. They don't even have a strategy. So for me, I always have a strategy. I'm prepared in my demonstrations. I've certainly practiced what I'm going to do. I have a plan. I'm very, very, very well prepared. And that takes obviously rules, right? And planning and processes. So what are your process and rules, Shane?
Well, so to answer your question real quick, well, you guys maybe think of a question that I just want to ask on behalf of the new guy. One process and rule, just to get back to your question, is, for the guys that show up and throw up, well, that's where I attach 10 questions you should ask every lighting contractor on my quotes. So that way a customer has tools and they're educated and they have answers to these questions to really check someone if they know what they're talking about. So I love doing that. It calls people out that are the show up and throw up guys. So my question for you guys, though, let's say like I'm a new guy. I'm new in my entrepreneurial journey, whether you're 50 years old or 20 years old, doesn't matter. Like, I'm new in my entrepreneurial journey. I'm not Matt. I didn't make $1 million in Christmas lights before starting. I haven't been an entrepreneur for a decade. And I just bought a demo kit. Well, I'm strapped. I'm trying to bootstrap things. I got a truck. I need to learn some design, but I can't necessarily go all the way to California and learn, or I'm just not sold and ready to make that commitment yet. What would be maybe just some more baby steps to kind of stair step up to learning design?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that's one of the reasons we started the lighting trade school, right? Because it's lacking for these guys who a lot of have a hustle. I mean, we've been even if they're just bootstrapped, like you're saying. I mean, I know plenty of guys that are active as hell in their other business and they're hustling. It's not even about a monetary thing. It becomes a time thing, right? It's hard to travel across the country. So with lighting trade school, we have 2 virtual courses, one for design, one for installation. And then, I'll be doing some 2-day trainings in New York to help with travel time. Shane, I know you're going to be doing some in Texas to help with travel time. But for Illuminati, we have Illuminati Lounge Club. So you can join that at lightingtradeschool.com. And with that, it gives you access to Shane and Nate and myself. And I think what I would do, I mean, is what I did, because I was strapped, right? When I went out to Nate the first time, I didn't want to spend $3-4 grand on a plane ticket after I just bought the demo kit. Right. And that was just 2 days. And that wasn't even a training. That was just like, he was either about to go out he was about to go out to the desert when I first met Nate. Right. So his mind wasn't fully into me and talking to me. He was about to go play out on his UTVs and all his boys were there and everything. So I utilized what I did know. I would do a demo and I would send Nate a picture and I would tell him everything I was planning. And he would tell me everything I was thinking that was wrong. So really, it was working back and forth with Nate, constantly going back. Like I would do a demo, show it to Nate, or I would video chat in there. This is what I'm doing. Boom, boom, boom. So if I was bootstrapped and I knew I had access to a guy like Nate, a guy like Shane, a guy like me, it's a no-brainer. I know exactly what I'd be doing. And I'd be utilizing a tool to catapult me in further the same way and the same thing I did with Nate when I started.
So the quick answer is just reach out to one of us. Get some free design help, on a couple of demos and start selling some stuff before you take your education to the next level.
Well, I push back on that. I don't even think that's a quick answer. I think I was educating myself by constantly being on the phone, constantly being out there, constantly having my work critiqued, not just asking what to do, but going to do something and having it come back at me. That was learning. It wasn't just Nate saying, go point, here, here, and here. He would make me go out and do it and then ask me why. Sometimes he would say, I think this is wrong. Tell me why you did it. So, just a little pushback on that, guys, is you can learn by, the real hustler. I wanted to do as much money as humanly possible when I first started. And I used every tool at my disposal to learn.
So you're saying it's completely okay to reach out to one of you guys cold out of the blue, and you're going to help a brand new person with design and critiques.
I'm definitely going to take that call and we're going to talk and see if they're legit. I have it all the time. Like Nate says, right? I don't want to help someone who doesn't want the help. It's really frustrating.
Well, if you don't answer your phone, it's like what Wayne Gretzky said, if you're not throwing in 1,000 shots into that net, you're never gonna score a goal. Same with us, right? We answer every call and then we just make those discovery calls and find out where we can fit you in and how we can help you. But getting back, Matt, till you asked me a question, or Shane, I don't remember, about comparing to all the guys that I've trained, going back into the unique days, who, the progression, did anybody buy demo kits, I think was your question, and did they proceed or not? And I would say 90% of the people or 95% of the people really didn't progress. And I think there's a lot of reasons. A lot of people, they don't have time. They think they want to have a different career, but to have a different career, you don't have to go all in, but it's like playing poker. Sometimes you go all in, become dedicated. They're going to go out and do 10 or 20 jobs for, like you did, and they just don't progress. The demo kit sits in their garage. So it takes dedication. It takes time. I know when I got into outdoor lighting, right? I'm going to go back to me. I knew I was an electrical contractor. I knew I hated my job. I hated my life. I hated electrical contracting, and I wanted to get into outdoor lighting. So I made a commitment. I quit outdoor lighting. I quit electrical contracting. I never even told my wife. My wife one day, after like 3 or 4 months, she said, what are you doing? How come you're not going to work every day and going to all these jobs? And well, I quit like 3 months ago, and I decided to become an outdoor lighting guy because I had to go all in. I had to get up and fucking breathe every goddamn second of my life. Outdoor lighting, outdoor lighting, outdoor lighting. I don't get a job, I lose my house and family. That's how committed I was. When I made a career change in June of 1995 and I went from a lighting guy to unique lighting, I quit outdoor lighting. My wife had the same conversation. How come you're not doing outdoor lighting? I decided to quit and start unique lighting. I went all in again, right? And that's what you have to do. You want to fuck around and not do anything and pussyfoot around and just pretend you're doing something? No problem. Easy, great. Do one job a year. Don't care, right? You want to make money in outdoor lighting, you got to go all in. So there's a lot of guys out there, I believe, that want to make a lot of money. So out of 10,000, out of hundreds or thousands of guys that we get joining these podcasts, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it, what's the ratio? Will 5% step up and want to be a lighting assassin and kick ass? I couldn't tell you. But it takes a commitment to do anything in life, right?
Yeah, I think we'll jump on that commitment piece, right? Like, I'm still learning. Shane's still learning. Even Nate's still learning. Like it's not like you ever stop learning. Like this is our craft, right? We're all in lighting all the time. There's always stuff to learn. There's always new ways. There's always, I think Shane, why don't you tell maybe a little story about the quick lock and how it was the stupidest fucking thing in the world when you first showed Nate.
That's hilarious. Like I absolutely loved it. I was like, hey, these little things are super cool. They're small. I love putting them on trees. They're easier to hide. We use them on smaller connections. And Nate said that is the stupidest thing in the world. And now, like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years later, he's like, man, I love these things. Have y'all ever seen these things? They're called key locks. Like, Nate, what are you talking about? Like, that's exactly what I use. He's like, oh yeah, but I thought it was something else.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Now let me defend myself. Well, I don't know if I remember the conversation, but I'm going to say after several cocktails, we probably had it, and I don't remember. No, but I think no one's smarter than everybody. So that is out there. But I didn't like it because they didn't have a mechanical connection on the inside. So I don't know, and Shane can respond. I don't know if Shane shared that detail or not. So the premise of those things, I don't like because there's no mechanical connection. Then a year and a half later, I have in my garage, I'm effing around, and I take the copper crimp that we use and I shove it in. It's like, oh my God, marrying a copper crimp to that quick lock, best connection now, hands down, right? So yeah, absolutely. I think in my defense, if you don't give me 100% accurate information, I might easily dismiss it, right?
Well, I think the whole
point is we can keep learning. Yeah, we keep learning. Yes. Perfect.
I mean, I got
Awesome.
a great story. I mean, I've been using Nate's lights for years. I'm highly involved in lifetime lighting and lighting trade school. And Nate always harps on the fact that he hates having to throw out a fixture that's integrated. Well, we have these Atlas lights. There are ledge lights. And, sometimes they go out. And, man, I hated it. I didn't want to sell any more Atlas lights because you have to pop the capstone. You have to cut it, rewire it. It's a pain in the ass. You got to reglue the capstone back down. And I remember it was last year. I called Nate and was like, man, I need a couple more Atlas lights. Like, this is stupid. Like, I lost 2 of them. I got to go back to the job because I forgot to bring them. And he said, what are you doing? And I got to cut those damn Atlas lights out. And he goes, why don't you just replace the light bar? And I was like, what are you talking about? And little did I know that it's just a little light bar that you can pull out and pop right back in. So we are all still learning. And I just installed a lot of those Atlas lights and replaced a lot before I even learned all you had to do was put a new lamp in. So
Matt should have asked the obvious question. Nate, you hate integrated fixtures. Why are you selling me one? I'm not selling you an integrated fixture. It's a replaceable LED bar.
So back to demos. Shane, I believe that you said you had a cool story about a demo you're currently doing. I know you're training. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've got some guys there for Glow Geeks, your licensing guys there. Tell a little bit what you're doing right now, and then kind of tell us about the demo and show us some photos if you don't mind.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's always easy for us, right? When we're doing jobs all the time. So I like to give you guys real-time information. So we are on an install right now. It's about 200 fixtures. I brought in like our Glow Geek licensees, Glow Geeks, Houston, Orange County, Denver, and some other city, Nashville. So they all want to come in and learn how to install and train just on a big 200 light fixture job. So this was just kind of a cool job to do it on. I'm going to show you guys just our company cam, and I'll share it with you. And the only purpose of me sharing this is just to kind of reiterate the power of demos, right? So this particular job, kind of start here. He was a Christmas light customer. So it was just an easy sell for us. He was already a customer. I knew I wanted to do landscape lights with him. So we re-engaged him a few weeks ago. Well, he only wanted us to replace all of his pathway fixtures. He had maybe 50 of them. And we talked about them. Our pathway lights are super beautiful. They're all copper. They're way better than what he had. So we went over there and we started doing a glow show, a demo as part of our sell process. And he literally came out maybe 15 minutes after we set up. I had 2 helpers, and we're already putting lights all in the front of the house. And he's like, well, I can already tell you, I don't even want the front of the house lit. He's like, I only want these trees and these pathway lights lit that we talked about. And I was like, well, that's okay. We'll just entertain me. I want to do it for the picture. I want to show you the difference of before and after. He's like, all right, whatever. So he back out 30 minutes later. So this picture is the view before. This is like from his front porch looking out. He's got a couple balconies. This is before. Got a silly little mercury vapor light over here. If I turn around and take a picture of the front of the house, this is before. He literally told me, I don't want to mess with these trees. I like them. I like the moonlights. I like the trees. I'm not interested in the front of the house. And I was like, I told him, this is Mike. I was like, Mike, you only like it because this is like what I would give a level 1 or a level 2 score to on a scale of 1 to 10. I was like, that is better than a 0. And that's why you like it. I was like, tonight, well, I'm going to show you what a 10 looks like, and you're never going to want these lights again. And he laughed. He's like, whatever, Shane. So this is the after picture, right? So before, didn't want that lit. After. Now he absolutely loved it. And then we ended up adding 50 lights there. So then we turn around. So we started putting 2 lights on every column. So that's what we do. We put a light on this back wall, 5 lights on this back lower patio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between left and right of every window. And we put a few lights in every tree. I told him we would duplicate that for the upstairs patio and just ignore these 2 lights. We just threw those over there to give it some light. So the front of the home is what we're demoing. And we have these pots. These are part of our demo kit. Super beautiful fake flowers. We got our copper stems. So we set these there. And in real life here, we've got 2 more on this side. So like he looks at that from before and after. He's like, oh my gosh, like I never even thought I wanted the front of my house lit. Like it looks amazing. You got the silly blue greenish mercury vapors out of there. And now he's like, you know what? He's like, my lights look kind of spooky.
Like, like the alien glow.
There. Yeah, maybe you flip them on during Halloween. He's like, no. So again, before, after. And
this is all during a demo here, all these pictures?
This is just the demo. So we went from him being interested in 50 lights to now he's interested in 200 lights. And we're doing the backyard. That was a Christmas light picture. So we're doing the backyard, the front yard. It's a massive property. It could really honestly hold 300 or 400 lights. He told me like 175, like that's my hard line. And we landed somewhere around 190. But he's like, there's no way you can even get to 200 fixtures. And now, like, he's starting to realize through the process, like, holy smokes, you're right. Like, I could do 300 or 400 lights. He still hasn't even fully admitted that, but he knows. He's like, yeah, I'm probably going to want more.
Hey, Shane, before you X out of there, go back to the one, the really pretty one with a couple trees in front. No, it's got like flowers and stuff. One more time or 2 more times. It's like the side view. Yeah, that bad boy. All right, so looking at this photo here, I'm gonna make it bigger for the screen for those that are watching and not just listening. This is, I think this is gorgeous. Everything's, well lit in the way that we light things. Oh, and he took it away from us.
Good. Sorry, I was all right.
Nate, when you see this, right, as a guy, maybe they've only done one or two demos. If I walk on and I see this, Shane demoing it, looks easy, right? What is going on in this demo? Like, tell someone who's brand new. We see this. It's not just flopping a light out, right? So, kind of give us a methodical approach here. How that you taught Shane to do this demo.
So, not in any particular order. If some of the slides that were going forward, Shane said, hey, they put 5 lights on the bottom of the porch and they're going to mirror it up on the upper side. So knowing that things are going to be visually connected together, knowing that structures look really good, a lot of times that you will strategically, like in this photo, you will purposely eliminate something. So you don't have to light the whole portrait because Shane lit the whole portrait on the front of the house. So it's representing to the homeowner, look at how badass the front of your home looks. Now we come over, now standing on the porch, looking out. Homeowner probably recognizes, because one of the rules of the demos, which we got sidetracked on, one of the rules of the demo is to be able to have the homeowner add. So if you're trying to sell the guy, 200 lights, it's let him add these 50, like you openly stated, Shane, but I want him to add 80. So in my mind, Shane, you did not like the structure behind those 2 trees on the right. I would imagine the homeowner's going, now that you've shown me how my structure is lit, my home is lit, I need to have that structure behind those trees lit. So strategically, you're going to omit stuff to let the homeowner add, go from 50 to 80. So first of all, I want to make sure everybody understood that. You don't have to light everything in a demo. It has to represent the quality of what you're doing. Let him go through the process, which you so well stated. He's going to start adding more and more light to this, understanding depth, cohesion, and a lot of different things. So that being said, I like negative and positive spaces. So you can see that there's 3 dimension that goes into the trees, right? Which takes a quantity of fixtures to achieve that lighting portrait. Because I got to believe, Shane, that in your process and dissertation of communicating with the homeowner, you are methodically going through, these are some of my visual objectives that I wanted to accomplish. Interaction. I don't want everything visually connected together. I wanted to create separation through different layers of light. So, obviously the rocks come into play. And I mean, I just think, Matt, in all fairness to anybody listening, I don't know how I could sit there and lay out in 60 seconds of how Shane achieved that. I think that's another design seminar so people can walk away. And I think that you said it. This is where we got to get more training involved in it. You can see the portrait. It's like, how would you go if you guys have ever seen art? I buy art. I think I flip my camera or my computer around. I mean, I can't go up to that artist and say how you did that. You know what he's going to tell me? It took me all my life, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, let me share this story. I don't think I've told you guys this story because I completely forgot this story, and I learned it a long, long time ago. And maybe the thing that I said earlier today, that I don't remember how I became a lighting artist. I don't remember the day. I think I just remembered the event that happened. So somebody is sketching something on the sidewalk, and the lady's like, hey, can you sketch me? And the guy sketches her. And it literally takes 5 minutes for this guy to sketch this lady. Anyway, she goes, well, how much is that going to be? She says, well, or the artist says, well, I think that's going to be, I don't remember the number, but that's going to be $2,500. And the lady's like, $2,500 for 5 minutes worth of work? And the artist said, no, lady, it took me all my life. I think that was the sequence of events that made me a lighting designer. No, it took me all my life, right? So it takes a long time to learn how to do a lighting composition. It's not a 1 minute deal. It's not a 5 minute deal. So it's difficult for me to sit there and start trying to dissect that without students knowing all the shit that it takes to have Shane accomplish that. So,
sure.
And that's why when you said, I said, hey, you said earlier, and I think it's funny, demo stands for demonstration. No, for me, demo stands for D is design, E is for education, M is for money, and O is for opportunity. That's what demo stands for me, right? It accomplishes, there's opportunity to make money, educates the homeowner through a dissertation and a process, and there has to be a comprehensive design behind it. That's the fucking definition of a demo, right? Without a demo and understanding the processes, you don't make money.
It's great about that picture that I really left out. I can't even take credit for putting those lights there. So I was talking with the homeowner, which is kind of the whole purpose of bringing a helper, right? So I can just really focus on just having a conversation with the homeowner, not be all winded running around. So we set up lights in the front of the house. He absolutely loved it. And he's like, well, let's go to the back of the yard and let's talk more about the backyard. So now we're talking about lights that we're adding in the backyard without having to demo. So we do a full circle around the property. Well, Gavin, who's my lead installer, who's gone to design courses, who we spend a lot of time and energy with in training on design, he takes the lights off the front of the home and puts in that little island. So when we pop back around to the front, that's all super lit up. And then the customer's like, holy smokes, like this looks badass. And that was 100% Gavin. I mean, we wanted to do it anyways, but like I'm just super proud that he took the initiative to do that while we were in the backyard.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Also, one of the reasons why when anyone who comes work at Barefoot Lighting, they have to do a demo. Like even my sales guys, office people, it doesn't matter. Like you're getting out there and at least doing 3 demos with me to learn, because send you out to do a demo to Nate's thing without training is silly, right? Because yes, you're going to demo, you're going to have lights everywhere, but it's just such a great training tool. So when I do those for training purposes, it's not necessarily to sell to the client at that point, right? It's training. So these demo kits just get their money's worth every day, man. It's crazy.
Well, look at what Gavin did. The E, right, or the O in demo, the O stands for opportunity. So Gavin on his own took some energy, took some time, put it out there in that little sub scene, if you will, to provide depth. When he walked around the corner, right, it educated the homeowner. Homeowner added the 50 lights, like you said, opportunity. And Gavin seized upon the opportunity. Without a demo, doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
Would never have happened. He didn't even want it lit, but anyways, there's
right.
no way that was sold without a demo. Zero chance.
Right.
So yeah, he didn't want it lit. So just think about that process right there. You're out there, you have all the confidence in the world. You've been through training. You think you are one cocky son of a bitch, right? Because and you're thinking, that homeowner's just saying, I don't want it lit. Shane, what is wrong with your brain? I have now told you 7 times, I don't want it lit. Get over it, or I'm going to have to kick you off the job. And we've all experienced that. Those are negative conversations. So in order to change his mind, you had to give him new information. New information, change his mind. So there's no words in new information. You have to visually see what we do so he can understand it. So that's what the demo is, man. The power of the demo, power of the demo. New information. Power. Good job.
This is the power of the demo right there. Look at that. Power of
the
demo.
Oh my God.
Oh, Nelly.
Let me go. I know. That's the power of the demo right there. That's the M in demo for money.
Right. Shane, did you have any other picture you wanted to show, or are we covered kind of, pretty good generalized topic of demos right now?
That is kind of just the pictures I had top of mind, because my guys are literally on that install right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's hundreds of photos I could show and examples, it's just like that.
Well, yeah, if we wanted to go back to that job, because you got the photos right there. So opportunity for me. So if you go back to that one slide, Shane, that you put lights in 2 pots that were obviously leading up to a stairway or a sidewalk or steps. I wasn't really paying attention, but I do remember there was 2 lit pots.
Oops. 2 pots right there.
Right there. So opportunity in a demo. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So when you're realizing, the guy's got trees in the background, so it's probably very difficult to light up that sidewalk like you did. And there's obviously, did you add those pots, Shane?
Yeah.
Or were they there? Okay, so perfect.
You probably weren't paying attention. But yeah, those pots are part of my demo kit. Those are our fake flowers, our battery operated pathway lights that we set up there.
Okay, well, awesome. I guess I wasn't paying attention when you said that, which is I wanted to come back to this thing. So, pardon?
I said I forgive you.
Okay. Anyway, so it's very difficult and challenging. We all know the number one thing a homeowner wants. I want safety and security. I want to be able to navigate from wherever to wherever safely so no one falls down and trips and sues me. So when you've got nothing from a tree to those steps, how the hell are you going to do this? Everybody traditionally would use an airport runway that would stick lights 18 inches off the ground and boom, airport runway exists. And now it's going to compete, no depth, no transition, no nothing. So Shane, which is super smart, comes in and adds an element so he can provide lighting. So he puts a pot, puts flowers, puts the light fixtures in the pots, now protects them. There's no physical damage. They're not going to be knocked over. They look good. They're elevated. They expand the light, right? Light up the color. I mean, it's fucking studly. That is just beyond belief. Nobody's going to do that. So now if Shane is sitting there and telling the homeowner, yeah, I think you need to go get other bids, Mr. Customer, because no one's going to think out of the box like this. No one's going to take those opportunities. So this is the chance for Shane to separate himself between every single person that comes out there and bids that, because nobody's doing this shit unless it was taught by us. So anyway, good job, Shane. Good job.
Going, yeah, great job. I love it.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, talking about doing things others wouldn't. One of my last jobs, a woman calls up. She said she wants landscape lighting, and I don't know who she is. She didn't get referred to me by anybody that I know, but she had seen me. She's seen my website. She's seen the social media. She's like, no, I know you're the guy. I know you have a $4,000 mimosa package. That's what I want. I already have solar lights out, so I know right where I want them. And so I was like, well, great. I'd like to come over and, do a demo for you. And she's like, no, I don't need it. I just want to move on with the job. And I pressed the issue, and luckily I did it because for the lighting trade school, I was like, hey, well, I'm teaching a couple guys. I'd like to make a video. Can I just come over and do the demo for the video's sake, just so I can show them what I would do? And so she said, oh, okay, sure. So got her home, did the demo. Her $4,000 budget ended up spending $10,500 because she could see it. So, I just want to talk. Some people say you can close daytime walkthroughs. Of course you can. But that $4,000 job only turned into a $10,500 first phase. She's already talking about adding more because I demoed. So I love demoing, and it's not just because I love, being out of the house at night, right? That's the downside for me, right? If I could demo during the day, I don't think I'd do anything besides demo. But because you can only demo at night, you have to go out. So I just encourage. I always say, if I can sell a job during the day, I know I can sell that job for more, give them a better portrait at night without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I love it. But I also like how you came up with the name of the mimosa package. Is that because you get the homeowners all cocktailed up and feeling good and sign right here? Right?
I do. I don't know if you were joking one time when we were out there. You're like, yeah, bring cocktails. And I said,
no, I wasn't.
My mentor told me to do this. So we had two coolers. We have beer, we have mixed drinks, we have it all. And now, I'm confident enough where I joke with the owner, like, we're not going to talk price until you get 2 drinks in, because then you make better decisions for me, and it's going to be great. And they laugh every time.
Yeah, and so everybody understands that, which is a true statement. I always say, let's go bar hopping in your backyard, because and through the demo and the process, right, we will establish multiple destination areas. And when you establish multiple destination areas on a property, you can go bar hopping in your backyard, right? Which cocktails, wine, mimosas, whatever it is. And it's just so much, it changes the whole experience. And that's what obviously visual entertainment can do. So I think that's really cool. And I really think that this, maybe I should say, is, and I know Matt has said it before, and I'm pretty sure Shane has, is, I've done this for a long time, and I have failed, and you learn, you pick up, you learn from your failures, and you start understanding what works. So I know these guys have said, we will listen and do what I say. And then at some point they can now starting to develop what works for them. And I really like it when I look at a photo and I see that Shane added 2 pots on those steps. I love that. I love that Gavin has listened and taken and moved the demo lights because they're battery operated now, moved them to a different area and changed that homeowner's experience. I love it when Matt sits there and he added his own flair, mimosa package or whatever, however you want to say it. That's fucking just studly. And they're learning. And this is how you learn. This is, you go out and you listen to somebody that has some knowledge and then you progress. And then you start developing your own skill set. So it's studly.
100%. I stole that pot idea. I gotta give Captain the credit. Like I tried to duplicate his picture exactly. I was like, I want those. That's a great idea. So we went out and spent $100, $200 on pots and fake flowers.
Yeah. Well, and I got it because Nate said, "Oh, it'd be cool if you brought it." And I'm not sure if Nate was just fucking with me sometimes or not, just to see if I would really do everything he said. But he's like, "Well, yeah, you should have fake planters and flowers, and you should have bistro tables, and you should have all." Okay, that night I went out, I bought bistro table, bistro chairs, and I bring them to the demo. So again, to this day, I don't know if he'd even admit it. I don't know if half the shit he was saying was just to see if I would do it, or if he actually had done it in the past.
Yeah, no, pretty much everything I tell you, I've done in the past, because the worst thing I'm going to do is lie to you or make something up because I know you're going to do it. And then if it fails, I look like a stupid idiot. So no, I will tell you things that I've done, again, for everybody out there, we would just go buy super cheap, stackable plastic, terracotta plastic. They stack, they nest, so they go in the van, some type of topiaries, plants, color, flowers, anything that's easy and can represent, that's easy to maneuver and light from place to place. So everything's fake. And then I would tell you that we always use white stackable chairs from Home Depot too. So you can add these destination areas, so you can have your mimosa hours, so you can go around and go bar hopping in your backyard. So these are all true stories that, I've lived it, I've done it. And then once you find out that it works, why break the record? Man, I would repeat this and repeat this and repeat this. And as Shane knows, we did a demo 6 weeks ago to a guy that wanted 8 lights. It turned into 70, and we brought pots and we brought fake flowers and we did this. And so the reason it turned into a 70 light job, if I didn't have these props, it probably would have been 45 or 50. But it changed the area. It changes the complexity of the job, not only as a visual, obviously composition, which we like to do, but it changes the experience for the homeowner to allow him to be more comfortable because there's more light around it, to provide for your brain a sense of comfort and a sense of ease. So these things are just really good props to use. And once they work, you just repeat.
That's right. All right. Well, this is going to wrap up this podcast. Again, this one's brought to you by Lifetime Lighting Systems. Check out lightingtradeschool.com. Join the Illuminati Lounge Club. It's a member of the Illuminati Lounge Club. There are discounts for Lifetime Lighting Systems demo kits. They're badass, battery operated, super easy. So check that out. That's our sponsor. We really appreciate you guys sticking around. Hopefully got a lot of value today, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys next week.
See you guys. Thanks for paying attention, and to a brighter future for everybody.